Hello friends, from this session we will start the database concepts. In this session we will see the database, some basic database concepts, and also see that why we need a database. So first of all, we need to understand some concepts, like first of all, what is data? Data means some information about any real world entity or any real world object. For example, suppose in any college there is some students, some faculty members, some teachers, some other administrative staffs, and some more physical resources like labs, libraries, and all these things. So the information about all these things, student information, that what is the name of a student, what is the address of a student, what is his branch, and courses, and all these things are called data, which is relevant for any system, for the college system, and we require this information in the managed form. So come to the next point, that what is database. Now simply, the database is a computer file which is used to store the data into some specific format, like in some text file. Suppose in some text file I have written some information about any student, that the name of student is this and address of the student is this, or we can say that I have listed out the all the student in some particular specific branch for some specific purpose. So this is called database, where we store the data, is known as database, and they are just simply the computer files in some specific format, and depending upon the type of database. Now next is a database system. That what is database system? Database system is a computer based record keeping system. It means it is the system which manage our database, which manage our data, because if we want to store some data in our computer, then we need to store this data into some specific format, so that our data security, integrity we can achieve these things, and also easy to manage and retrieve information and search information from this database. So we need a proper systematic system, and there is so many systems are there for the database, and the most popular database system is the relational database system, or we can say relational database management system, RDBMS. Now what is relational database management system? In the relational database management system, all the records and all the information are stored in the form of tables. Tables means which is having some rows, columns, cell, and this type of things, and whatever details about this RDBMS or tables, that what is the meaning of this table, and why, how data are stored in these tables, in the rows and columns. We will see these things in further session. So at this time, relational database management system means a database management system which is having information in the tabular form, or which manage the information in the table form, and these tables are generally known as relation. And now the next, we are going to study, or we are going to learn Microsoft SQL Server. Now, what is the Microsoft SQL Server? This is basically a product of Microsoft, which is a relational database management system. Now there are so many other companies are also there whose database management system, relational database management system are also there, like Oracle, and even Microsoft has Access and MySQL, and similarly IBM is having DB2, and Oracle is having Oracle database, and different versions of same database. Now what is the difference between these database? It is similar to like in the market there are so many bikes, so many other companies for the bikes, suppose TVS and Hero Honda. They all do the same work that we use bike for the traveling, but they are having some changes in their features similar to this Microsoft SQL, Oracle, MS SQL, MS Access, and all these databases are having some conceptual difference, but they all are the relational database management system. And so many other type of database systems are also available in the market, like object oriented database management system, which is having, or which store and manage the information in the object form, and so many others. So this is the some basic concept of database. Now why we need database? Suppose in this MaxTech training website, we are having some information, like this is the static content. Static content means this content will not change frequently, but at some places, suppose I go to the training programs. At this time we are having a .NET web development with ASP.NET, this training program. So this information is variable, means there will be more training program we can add. So if it is static, it means the information is simply we just simply type this information in this place and create a HTML page and keep this information. Then if you want to add more training program, then we need to change in our HTML, and we use HTML and change and increase the training program. Or similarly we can see that at the registration form, here is the some registration form which required login, password, retype password, name, gender, DOB, address, mobile number, phone number, and all these things. And when we register, if somebody wants to register in our website, so he or she will come and fill up this form and just register. Then if he registered, then we need to store this information for permanently. So for storing this information we need database or some storage system. So this information is stored in some database, so that whenever we required, we can again retrieve this information from the database and use them. So like that, here is the login, or we can open this login form. So suppose somebody registered in your website and he or she may want to log in after some time, or after 1 or 2 days later, then he will come and type his login name and password and log in from here. So we need to check this login and password, that the user who is entering the username and password is correct, whether it is correct or not. So to check this login ID and password, we need our information which is provided by the user at the time of registration. So whenever any user registered, this information is saved in the database, and when this user again come into the our website and give some login ID and password and login from here, in that case we just write some code behind. We just write some code in C# or in any other language and just retrieve the login ID and password from the database for particular this user and compare with the username and password which is provided at this time, and see and check them, and if username and password is correct, then we will allow to log in here. Suppose for example, I just write Harish and I don't remember my password at this time. Yeah, suppose I have given some username and password here. So my username and password is not correct, so this is giving a login failed. Okay, there is some mistakes, so that this password is coming 123, or we can just log in from here, or suppose we are having a login ID and password at the home. Okay, suppose I give some login ID and password and try to log in. Yeah, still this is not a valid user ID and password. Okay, you can register from here and log in from here or from this. Or there are so many other places are there where we need, suppose that batches information. So this batches information is also stored in some table. So whenever we want to edit or delete some information, so we just delete from the table, and we need not to change in some HTML. So it is totally dynamic. So in the most of the website, the 80% portion is related to the database. That all the information which is showing on the or using in the website are coming from some database or some database tables. So it is the most important part. Database is the most important part of any website. Now to better understand the concept of database tables, and what is the tables and rows and columns, and how we can manage this all things, I just go to the SQL Server. I have installed SQL Server 2005 Express edition in this system. So I just go to the programs and in SQL Server 2005, here is the SQL Server Management Studio Express. So how we can install this, and why, what is the basic requirement, and all these things you will see in the further sessions. So at this time, to understand the concept of tables, rows, columns, and how information is stored in the tables, we will just start this Management Studio Express. Okay. This is actually a software which is used to connect which provide an interface between us, between user and our database. So it just need to connect with the database servers. So it required some server name, authentication mode, and some username and password and all these things, and we just connect it from. Okay, don't bother about these things, we will see these things further and connect it. Okay. Now when we connect with this server, now our server name is Harish PC. This is the SQL Server 8.0.194. This is the version, and user is SA. Means this server is open for the user SA, or open by user SA. Now here is the some tabs. There is the database, security, server, objects, replication management, and all these things, but we are only concerned with this databases. So just click on this plus and you will see the list of some databases. So here is the databases of different projects and all these things. So we can also create our own database here by right clicking and add new database, and you can just provide some information, some database name and honor and all these things, and you can create this. But at this time I'm not going to create any database here. Now suppose because I am having so many database already over there, so suppose I go to the student DB. It is, I have created this, and here is the tables. So if you go, there is a system table which is already created by the system, so we do not bother about them at this time. And here is a two table, book issue and student table. Suppose at this time I just delete this, and we will create them. Okay, delete this and also delete this. Okay. Now here is, we do not have any table in this database. Suppose we want to create a database, student DB. It is created, and now I want to create a table. So creating a table, I just right click and new table, and here is some panel is open. So just write, suppose I give roll number and give data type, and allow not null, allow null. Yeah, I remove allow null because we don't want to leave blank into the roll number, and give the student, or we can say simple as name, it's a student name, and give variable character and size up to 100 character. Now what is this is a data type. Means in the table, whenever we create, this is the column name. Means one column is for roll number, storing the roll number of student, and another column is for the name of student. And in the roll number, we have given a data type integer, that the roll number of any student is in the form of integer format. So we can store integer format value, or we can give variable or character or anything else there. And this is some constraints. This constraint tell, if I clicked on this, it means I allowed nulls. Means whenever we enter any student, we need not to give a roll number to this student, but we don't want such type of situation that we are allowed them to enter null value into the roll number. So I just uncheck this, and this is the name. Now suppose address, and give varchar. Varchar is the variable character, and just give size to 200, and then suppose phone number, phone, we can give numeric or mail ID or just leave mail ID, just give branch. If he is the college student, then we need to give branch and varchar and college name. And here is the save button, just save, and it need gives a default value table 1, but we need to change this. I need to give student table. Okay. Now in the object explorer, this object explorer shows the explore the all objects in your database or in your server. In the object explorer, if you see, there is a student table, or if you click on this plus and here is the column, so whatever columns we have created, the name of column is there, and all the data types and size, maximum size are also there, and null values, not null, whatever we have given over there, it is written. Okay, now just close this because our table is created. Now, and the object browser, if you right click in this and go to the open table, now it will open the actual form of this table. Now this table is having roll number, s name, address in this thing, and here is the row. This is the heading of each column, and here is the row. Suppose I want to insert a value. Suppose 1 is the roll number, second s name, suppose student name I have put it Amit, and address is 291 New Valencia, phone number just 989898 something over there, and branch should be CS, computer science, and college we can write suppose I just put it with my college, or give any other thing, suppose SSIT Indore. Okay, do remember one more thing. Suppose I just came into the second row, so that's why I'm not able to show you. Write 2, and next time what this red color symbol is representing, red color explanation mark, this symbol is telling that this particular row is not saved, or this particular value is not saved at this time, at this instance. If suppose in that case I will close this from here, so in that case this information is not saved, but it is saved when suppose I just give another student John and give some other address like airport road, and some other contact number, and branch DYT, and college name same SSIT Indore. And when I press tab and come to the next time, this line will be saved. Now this row is saved. So if at this time if you close this table and after again open this table after some time or after few days, then this record will be saved in your database. So from here you can give so many other names are also there, so I just give John and Sam, and just write some address here. And write some phone number and give some branch and give another SST. Now our table is having 3 rows in our table. So in particular this table, if you see this single row is having a complete information about a single student. So this row is called in DBMS, this row is called a tuple. Tuple means a complete information of single row, or all the columns in single row. And this particular column, this column is representing a single attribute of students. A single attribute means it's telling about the roll numbers of all the students. So this column known as the attributes of relational database. And a single cell, suppose this cell or these cells, is giving a single information. So this cell is known as the domain of this particular table or relation, and this complete table is known as the relation of our student table relation. So here is the concept of rows and columns and all these things. In further we will also see the exact definition and what is the use of this table and how we can manage so many other tables in the same database, that how we can relate one table with another table. Suppose our whatever database we are creating, suppose we are creating this database for the in college or any organization, so we need to create so many we need to store so many other information along with the student information. So we can also create new tables from here. So suppose I just create a table also for the suppose faculty ID, and suppose give integer and faculty, or suppose F name, and just select a varchar and give address varchar and so many things, and you can save this from here and you can write faculty table and save it. So here is your database having 2 tables, and similarly just right click and open table faculty, and you can also enter faculty ID, and suppose I write my name and address is 501 D Raja D Bhavan, and suppose second is Sumit, and give some address. And similarly if you go to the next line, next row, it will be saved. Now close this and close this. Now your database is having 2 tables, student table and faculty table, and similarly we can create n numbers of tables in this database and use this. So here is We have seen that how we can create rows, columns, and create tables in our database. Yeah. Thank you.